Hey, good afternoon, everyone. It's me, Nisi, back with another video. Just got some Happy Mail in from Amazon, so I'm gonna do another unboxing so you guys can see the books that I got. Went to the dealership today to get my car serviced because I try to be very diligent about that. Plus, I have it when I purchased the car a couple of years ago. I got that extended warranty, so it's pretty much covered for 2 years, right? So I went in and started reading. I took with me the Arctic Vedas, and I started reading that. So it seems like it's going to be a pretty good read. The book was written, I think, in 1903. So, yeah, different time period altogether. Or 903, as Chief would say. Okay, so this is what I got. Shout out to Chief. The Power of Now. Eckhart Tolle. Okay. Over 15 million copies sold with a new preface by the author. One of the best books to come along in years. Every sentence rings true with the truth and power. Deepak Chopra. Now, Chief has been reading this, so I'm not going to read this, but I'm not going to read it on camera. I am going to read it, but I am going to kind of follow along with him in the book. Next up, I got more on Tartary. The Hidden History Revealed. Got another book coming on Tartary with maps too, end of the week. Shout out to my sister Val, who got me a going away gift from my previous employer. So I used that towards, obviously, books. It was either going to be books or yarn, so I ordered books. A nice thick book on Tartary. The next one I got is White Slavery in the Barbary States. This one. And I got another book that my little brother, Camilo, put on the screen the other day called Bound. And that's the one that I'm waiting for it to come at the end of the week. So that and my book on Tartary. Hey, Mimi. So I got these 3 books. Tartary, White Slavery in the Barbary States, Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. So those are adding to my collections. So I have a couple more books coming, and I'll show you those when I get them in. All right, let's get into the Book of Wisdom. Okay. So just a really quick review. We talked about the black cube of Saturn yesterday, right? Saturn is Satan. We also ran through a quick session of the soul trap. You're not getting anything else, so go lay down. We talked about the soul trap. We talked about Saturn as Satan. We also talked about, there's one part that I didn't read yesterday. Let's go over this. Saturn or Satan blinds the mind. Satan or Saturn blinds the mind because the process of your mind and soul incarnating through the 7 celestial spheres and then finally reaching the earth makes us forget our true divinity. Once we get to earth, lower state, we are operating out of root chakra. Matter over mind. The symbol for Saturn is the showing matter over mind. And this is this right here. And which is now called the Star of David, or as Steve says, the Star of Rimfram. It is Satan or Saturn. That's really what it is. Now, we did talk about the black box in the forehead, the black wrapping around the arm, the rings also, the wedding rings. We talked about those are the physical body and the mask of the beast, the simulation of Saturn. Our soul is in bondage with the body. And we talked about that. I know you guys better not start barking at me. The black cube on the forehead when praying, the black band wrapped around them to symbolize Saturn wrapping you in a physical matter, covering your eyes into the blackness. Star of David is actually the star of Saturn. Their day of worship is Saturn Day or Saturday, Saturnalia. The satanic signal of the Baphomet is the inverted symbol or element of the pentagram. It's putting the most important element, spirit, at the top. Spirit is the most important because it gives birth to the other 4 elements. Satanic people don't care about spirit. They are materialists or inverts. Satanists invert everything. Okay. And then we did go in to talk about more of the black cube and how Da Vinci symbolizes the man in the cube and the man's physical body is trapped in the cube. We talked about that, right? I showed you the pictures yesterday. Just going through a quick review. We talked about the 6 sides of the number 6 is the number of man. Number 7 is the number of God. We talked about the cubes, the reference to the cross unfolded, which is the cube. We need to think outside the box. We talked the reference of the Jack in the Box. The famous toy of Jack in the Box is truth in plain sight. We are Jack in the Box, and we must expand our minds and pop out of the box, which means to ascend out of the Saturn game cube. Heaven is the base reality where our mind has no attachment to a body. It's the real, true world. Okay. And that's what it talks about. We talked about the symbology. We talked about Saturn and religion. We talked about Judaism, Islam, Christianity with the cross, Judaism with the Star of David, which is actually the Star of Saturn, and then Islam and the Star of Saturn, which is the sigil. And we talked about the black box of the Kaaba, which is a structure shaped like a black cube. The cube's geometric form is associated with the creation of matter, where black signifies matter and white symbolizes spirit. This symbolic connection is drawn to Saturn. Consider the deity of matter, with the cube situated on Saturn's north pole. And this is what we see here. Star of David, Islam, and then you see... where's Christianity? Christianity is right here with the box, the cross. Here's the box, and then it unfolds into a cross. It's all pointing to Saturn, Saturnalian worship. And it talks about the bottom. We talked about you've been double crossed. Chromosomes, chromosuns or chromos ones. Chronos equals Saturn. A hex is a magic spell that casts onto you someone. We have all been hexed into this material matter, or physical matter. Hexagram, okay? All right, incarnation of the mind, so we're going to step into. Incarnation into sin. Our minds are being projected into a simulation. As the soul descends into the soul system, it enters the rings of Saturn first. This is why Saturn is the root chakra. Saturn is Greek, is Chronos, which means time, because everything in the material world is mortal, meaning is not eternal. So it is governed by time in this mortal world. And there really is no such thing, but in this world, in this material plane, it is. Then after Saturn, it goes to take on the other, a energy that are necessary to function in this world. The soul now has inhabited the 7 energies and is now being incarnated into physical matter in the heart, which is the earth, on the soul system in the mother's womb. When we are born into the world of cycles, where everything is moving in cycles, such as daily, yearly, monthly, zodiac, Christol, menstrual cycles, etc. These cycles are waves, which are sin waves. They have a peak and an off peaks shown in the diagram below. You are born into sin, which is a sine wave, or sin of Eve, or a sin of Eve wave. Sin of Eve wave. You have a midday, you have a midnight. The sin of Eve, eating the forbidden fruit of the tree, or the knowledge of good and evil, is the metaphysical story of our consciousness falling into matter. Our mind projected itself into the nervous system, which is a tree of knowledge of good and evil, to experience and gain the knowingness of good and evil. We bit the forbidden fruit, which is rumored to be an apple. Apples are Taurus fields, which is an atom. Okay, we bit into the atom and materialize into the atom or matter. And Eve is even and equals to atom and atom. Okay, so Eve or even equals is equals to, and then atom or atom is 1. Did that make sense? So it says the dollar bill is a sine wave. Okay, our chromosomes or DNA is a sine wave. We have a summer solstice. We have a winter solstice, a fall equinox, a spring equinox. The zodiac is a light wave. So That makes sense when we come into these bodies in this material planes. Once we come to the 7 celestial cycles, this is what happens. This is what we take on this form, okay? It says the sine wave is a wave of light and everything is made out of light. So we live in a light matrix simulation. That's what this is. Everything moves in waves, light crystallized in physical matter. Low vibrational light turns into matter and high vibrational matter turns into light. And that's what we truly are. We truly are light. But right now we're existing in our lower state. We are born into sin, meaning a sine wave. We are born into creation that has 2 opposing forces, good and bad, day and night, good and evil, etc. And then in this book, it says the path of the sun is a sine wave. So I'm going to show you some pictures. Hopefully you can see them. So you see the cycle up and down. Here's the DNA. Here's the dollar sign. Here's the summer equinox, winter equinox, fall. It goes through signs. Here's the 7 celestial spheres where we come into this realm. Here's another picture of the sine wave. Here, waves, the cycles. So everything is governed by time when we come into this physical existence. This makes so much sense, does it not? I mean, I knew this information, but it's good to recall it because it's been a while since I've actually seen this in print, right? It's like I knew majority of it, but it's good to have another recall to reread it. Okay, and it says, no, Ernie, you're not going to get no more. Everything is an electromagnetic wave. The electromagnetic wave is straight because it has no vibration. It has no vibration, and the electric wave vibrates back and forth. So it waves, meaning it has depth, which is a wavelength and depth. The straight magnetic line and electric wave depth combined create the cross, which is where we get the earth symbol from. Magnetism and electricity combine to create physical matter, which is the earth, and that is what the symbol is showing. So this is what they're talking about here in this symbol. Okay. All right, then it says the seven metals equals the 7 planets, okay? And it says the 7 metals are lights, which give 7 days of the week, 7 colors, 7 diatonic musical notes, 7 chakras, etc. The 7 metals have the same alchemical symbol for the 7 planets because matter is low vibrating light. No, you're not going to get any more. And when the 7 planets materialize, they crystallize the 7 metals. Now, Chief talked about a time before this last incarnation cycle that we had the knowledge to where we could create iron that does not rust or tarnish. And I think we've lost that. And is that not, I want to say, I forgot the name of the steel blades, but it's a certain type of metal that they have a purest form. And I believe it's in Asia, right, Chief, if you see this video, where, and I have to go back and recall it and pull it up in this next video so I can talk about it again. But there is a time of when we built these grand cities and we had this knowledge, right? Because we did this with our minds. We actually moved things because we had that type of knowledge and understanding then, and we've lost that. But these buildings that you see all around the world, yeah, the giants helped us build it, but we also built them too. We had the knowledge, we had the education, we had the understanding in this material realm, and we've lost that. You know, when Tartary was destroyed, it seems like the knowledge was covered up, right? I know that there's someone on this planet that has that knowledge, but it's probably in the wrong hands. I don't know. But anyway, we have metals that are incorruptible. You better stop barking at me. No. Sorry. I'm giving him a little treat. And he's like, hey, give me some more. He's barking at me on camera. Bossy little chihuahua, ain't he? All right, let's move on to incarnation. We talked about incarnation of the mind. Now we're going to talk about incarnation. The mind and soul have no true form in the astral realms. Whatever we desire to create, we manifest instantly. I'm going to say that one more time. The mind and soul have no true form in the astral realm. Whatever we desire to create, we manifest instantly. The stars are openings into the astral plane, which we create to incarnate. Hence, why the word astral has star within it. We are monstars, rock stars. We are all different types of stars, and we are. We start in the stars, hence why the word start has star within it at the time of our incarnation. One of the seven celestial gods are ruling the earth from the heavens. The energy of the planets ruling at the time of our incarnation molds our soul, mind, and body, which we manifest into our behaviors, our physiology, and spirit. So my seven celestial planet that I came through supposedly when I was born into this avatar body is Aries, the god of war, or Ram, the first, the beginning. That is my birth month and ruling house. Interesting. So let's go on. It says angel equals angle. Okay. Everything living being is a fallen angle or astral light. We are fallen angels or angles of light. We decide to eat the forbidden fruit and incarnate into the material world of Saturn or Satan. Okay. Saturn rules this world of matter, time, and space. In the astral plane, we can manifest what we desire instantly. However, our minds are under restrictions of matter. We now have to labor to manifest our desires. This is why Saturn, as astrology, is known as the master teacher, and he holds things back to teach us lessons. Our minds have been hexed into the physical matter. Okay? Y'all heard me now. Sister, Mister, monster, moonstar, fraudster, administrator, celebrity is a superstar, Masonic artwork, stars in the stairs, reach for the stars. When I say reach for the stars, they literally are talking about us ascending and going back up to where we belong, right? We have to detach from this physical plane. If we're stuck in this low vibration in these the chakras that I talked about yesterday, which are the the root, the sacral, and let me see. I should know them off the top of my head. I'm where I'm thinking is the root, chakra, but it's the solar plexus. Yeah. The solar plexus, the sacral, and the root chakra. That's what I was thinking. Solar plexus is here. The root is right above your sexual organs, and the sacral, I guess, is a little bit further down. So we're stuck in that lower state, right? I mean, this makes so much sense, you guys. So it says, heaven is the base reality where the mind has no limitations. Beyond the stars is the astral plane where the mind and souls can roam freely to worlds, planes, and universes, and even create your own. Badass, I'm telling you. We have the power, and we haven't even stepped into our true existence, you guys. Notice on this Masonic artwork, the stairs that lead to the middle of the sun and the moon. The sun and the moon symbolize polarity of the physical world, as the sun is male and the moon is female. The stairs are leading to the middle of them, symbolizing oneness and balance. The mind has no gender. It is pure consciousness with no limitations. And this is what they're talking about. Masonic artwork. Y'all seeing it right here. There's the checkerboard, the sun and the moon, the stairs. It symbolizes balance. That's what that means, you guys. And I bet you most Masons, or some of these Masons out here, they don't know what that means. They don't know what this means. I bet you they ain't studied it. The truth is always hidden in plain sight. And I mean, they've got so much Masonic artwork here. The descending bird symbolizes the soul and the mind descending from the astral plane, which is the stars, and the incarnating into the ether waters, the physical world. The arch at the top of the painting symbolizes the firmament, and the light beam is the star beam. Another Masonic art. So these are all Masonic art symbols here. Here. I'm very familiar with checkerboards. I see that all the time. All right, let's talk about ascensions. The Emerald Tablets of Thoth, also known as the Septuagint. Is it the Septuagint? The Samargin tablets, or simply the Emerald Tablets, are a series of ancient, esoteric, and cryptic texts attributed to the legendary figure Hermes Trismegistus, also known as Thoth, Moses, and Mercury. Sir Isaac Newton supposedly translated Emerald Tablets of Thoth in the 17th century. And I would probably say the 7th century. I've even read some books where they say Thoth is actually Christ Yeshua. I'm just saying. Thoth is the god of wisdom. Wisdom is wise dome. In ancient Egyptian religion, Thoth was a deity associated with the moon. The time reckoning, learning, and writing recorded or regarded as the invention of writing and the creator of the languages. Thoth held significant roles as the scribe. As the scribe. And he interpreted and he was the advisor of the gods. Quotes from the Emerald Tablets, O.G. Thoth by M. Durrell. I have that book over here behind me. You guys know I got like three different copies. Quotes from the Emerald Tablets. Out of darkness, you rise upwards, one with the light and one with the stairs. Man is the process of changing to forms that are not of this world. Groweth he in time to the formless, a plane of the cycle above. Know ye must become formless before you are one with the light. So much truth. Not of the earth are ye, earthy, but a child of the infinite cosmic light. Lay heath the stars of long buried Atlantis, dreaming of mysteries far above men. Then in my heart grew a great longing to conquer the pathway that lead to the stars. Free from the body, I flashed through the night. Unlocked at last for me was the star space. Thoth was a moon deity. The sun is a macrocosm of the soul. The earth is a macrocosm of the body, and the moon is a macrocosm of the mind. Body, soul, and mind all together. So you have the sun, the earth, and the moon. All three, mind, body, and soul. The word Thoth becomes the word thought. And Thoth is a moon deity, which means mind. The mind is what thinks thoughts. The mind is what thinks thoughts. Thoth represents the mind because the mid is the projector of the soul, projecting the soul into different bodies or worlds. Thoth was the god of wisdom, and wisdom is within the mind. So you've got the square, which is a physical plane. The triangle is the etheric plane. The circle is the eternal plane. As above is so below. The domed is doomed. And we have these. And here's the dome. The dome is doomed. The cranium. And it says, thinking outside the box holds a deep truth. The box is a square which represents the physical plane. Your mind is experiencing the program that is being ran by the brain and the central nervous system. Therefore, the body is the earth. When your mind leaves the body in a during the astral projection, you are in fact leaving the earth. In order to ascend, the individual has to go think beyond the physical world and seek a path that is concealed within one's self. When our minds awaken to realities beyond our immediate surroundings, a natural urge rises to explore. This process is likened to a baby in the womb. As the baby becomes aware of a world beyond its mother, it starts moving and seeking a way out. The parallels, the idea of spiritual evolution, following the principle as above, so below, symbolizes a natural progression towards higher consciousness. Our thoughts are bondage. I am not the body, not the thoughts. You must. I am not the body, not the thoughts. You must fall in love, conquer desire, refrain from sexual activity, fast and transmute your fear of death to begin the ascension process. When you transmute your fear, the Holy Spirit can enter you, the revival of wisdom. Okay. So it says lead into gold, matter into light. Our thoughts are bondage. I am not the body, not the thoughts. You must fall in love and conquer desire, refrain from sexual activity, fast, and transmute your fear of death to begin the ascension process. When you transmute your fear, the Holy Spirit can enter you. All right? And I'm going to stop it right there. I'm going to make it short today. When I come back, we're going to go over the 7 celestial energies. All right. The 7 Elohim, the 7 planes. We're going to talk about the celestial rulership. Okay. We're going to go over the sun, Jupiter, Mars, Venus, Mercury, the moon, Saturn. A month is a mooneth. Okay, we're going to talk about the moon, and we're going to talk about man is God made flesh. Okay, and then we may try to get into Aries and Taurus, which I will tell you, April marks the authentic New Year day when the sun transitions into the zodiac sign. April 1st is also called April Fools, which is also said that it is the birth of Christ. The Lamb of God. Aries stands at the authentic inaugural sign of the zodiac, bearing the elemental essence of fire. This fiery element embodies a masculine and explosive force, harmonizing with the resurgence of the plant life during the sun's presence in Aries, symbolizing the renewal of life. So spring comes, everything comes back to life. The birth happens. Aries first marks the authentic New Year's Day when the sun transitions into the zodiac sign of Aries. I was born there in Aries, so it was my son Alex, and then also Christ, if you really want to know the truth. We celebrate December 25th, but that is not the truth. See, it's crazy because when you start to do your research and you read and you look at different texts, and then you go into meditation and you ask for knowledge and you pray for it, you got to be able to discern what you read, but you have to understand what you're reading and you have to put that into practice, right? That's the whole point of you learning these things. So my point is by me discussing these things with you, not only is it bringing light to you, but it's also redirecting my thought process and my energy towards what I need to be focused on, right? Ascension is the key. It is what we have to have. We have to be able to ascend and break free from this realm. Okay, I don't want to come back. I'm just going to tell you that I don't want to come back. I am eternally bonded to you all. You all are part of my soul family. Anyone who sees this video, but no pun intended, I don't want to come back to this realm. It's jacked up. This is a ghetto plane. I'm just telling you. This is a physical plane. It's ghetto, and these crazy mofos down here have things so convoluted and jacked up that they've got everything turned upside down. Literally, the maps, our teachings, they've wiped the slate clean. They've got too many control mechanisms. They want us to merge with AI technology. They're just doing the most down here. And the only way for us to break free from this madness is for us to ascend. There's no one that's going to come and save you. You have to save yourself. You have the Christ within you. We are gods in the flesh. We are the God-man made flesh. We are sentient beings. It's just that we've been wiped and we don't know who we are, right? And when you come into this material plane, then you're given this false identity of this race, your sex, your religion, all these different filters that you got to peel off, right? And that's the problem that we're having right now, especially within the indigenous community. I do not like to use the word black. I say autochthonous or indigenous. In this community, we have been betrayed. We have betrayers. All skin folk are not kinfolk. And so they look like you and I, okay? Even my light-skinned brothers and sisters. I can't blame all of this on the Gujars. It was all of us. It was our forefathers, our ancestors, who let us down in a way. They stopped fighting. Maybe they got tired. Maybe they took a potion. Maybe they all fell asleep. They were too busy. Like one of my sons was saying, hey, we was too busy playing with rocks and stones and magic and stuff. And they was kicking our asses and they were coming up behind us and just overthrowing us. And that could very well have been the case. I'm just saying we were a great civilization at one time, and we've fallen so much in consciousness and in knowledge. And I can't necessarily blame it all on the Zionists. I can't. I have to state that the knowledge is there and you just have to seek it out. You have to be the one to want to do better and make a change in your life, right? It's not so much as about talking about it and going into these churches and into these worship centers and casting spells, because when you're praying, that's what you're doing, you know? And You got to understand what this is. You're not taught these things in church. They're not going to teach you this stuff. They're going to say it's forbidden, it's heresy, it's the devil, it's wrong, it's the occult. It's stuff that we need to know, practical knowledge that we need to understand. And so I've always asked the questions, why? Why? I'm sharing this information with you all. You can go purchase the books and you can read this information for yourself. For those of you who know this information, it's always great to rehash it and to listen and to put this into practice, right? Anyway, I'm going to get off here. We're going to come back again and we're going to talk about the 7 celestial energies, the celestial rulership, the moon, the man, God, man made flesh. And at that point, we will be halfway through the book at that point. And so I really want to get into numerology, the sacred secretion, Freemasonry, more symbols of what they've hidden, the mind and the soul, mentalism and energy. We want to talk about Christianity and sun worship. Yeah. How music is magic and how it casts spells on you. The Egyptian sun worship. We've got a lot to cover. We've got to talk about the human diet, veganism, the brain waves, the states that we need to be in, our human energy field, what we need to do to protect it, the electromagnetism in nature. And it also happens within us, right? We need to talk about the daisy of death and the flower of life. We're going to cover a lot on God is light, electromagnetism, how we can pull down from the ether, as above, so below. But we've got a lot to talk about. The Kabbalah, the tree of life. We've got some zodiac cell salts, which is behind me. I have a book on cell salts. The diet is the number one thing that needs to change along with the meditation. And then, of course, you need to change your environment. You got to change your way of thinking and change your environment. But I highly recommend this book, okay? Anyway, I hope you guys have a great afternoon. And remember what I always say, we are eternally bonded. Be the change you want to see all around this earth dome, the cell membrane that we're in, because it's up to you and I to make a positive change. For us, we need to ascend. All right, you guys have a great afternoon.